right, guys. Thanks for listening to the Clark Street Wrestling Podcast 2.0.
Nah. Too late.
It is over.
Oh man, good shit. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun, man. Thank you again. Thank you again, Bishop, man.
Man, appreciate it.
Definitely.
Appreciate
That was
it.
Y'all
fun.
got it. Y'all got it, man.
By the way, this is our after hours right here, man. So this is what we do
Okay.
right before we sign
Yeah,
off.
just before we sign off, just
Yeah.
we usually just get in conversation about all sorts of shit. So
Sure.
it's just kind of signing off and actually getting ready for the next week and all that. We'll sometimes just talk about general stuff. But no, this was a lot of fun. This is definitely a lot of fun. We'll have to have you on here again, man. Like, cause definitely I truly do appreciate having those conversations. Like you mentioned, and I think in our world, not enough are we willing to have the conversation. We're too quick to get mad about, oh, what the fuck? Like, he doesn't agree with me, or whatever. Like, let's just talk. Like, you can't just outright just ignore, just shut it down, like that other perspective. Like, that other person, maybe what they have to say is valid. Like, I go into it that way. Like, that person feels how they feel. I feel how I feel. We can talk about it. We can have that conversation. And at the end of it, we may still not agree, but we at least have the respect for each other to have that conversation, and that's cool. And have fun while doing it. Because at the end of the day, again, we're talking about wrestling in this case, but even in other things in the world, like, if we just went in it with that kind of perspective, like, let's just have a conversation to understand, okay, you feel differently. Let me understand why that is. And I feel differently, since, I'm giving you the chance to speak and hear your side, vice versa, not hear my side. And let's see if we can come to some kind of middle ground. And even when we can't, still respect each other as human beings, like that. If we have more of that in the world, I just feel like, it'd just be
should have happened the first time we had our debate and we blew up on each other.
What you mean?
Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole.
But no, I think that's
but we was cool. Yeah.
No. See, that I think is perfect though, because I think in some situations, a lot of people will shut down, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you don't agree with me on that? Well, fuck you then, and that's it. Like, friendship over. Never talk to you again. Done. Right?
No more podcasts.
Yeah,
done.
Podcast over. But that just speaks to, like, we can literally have an argument to where we can, like, blow up, but still have that respect for each other. Understand, like, one, okay, we're talking about wrestling. Two, we're friends. And it's like, we're just talking. You're trying to convince me that the match was shitty, the logic was whatever, and I'm trying to convince you that I loved it was amazing, and you should too. And I
was like, no, fuck that. But they ain't make goddamn sense. Adam Cole taking all these goddamn.
It was fine. Like, I definitely do. I love when I'm able to find people that I can have those interactions with and still be cool at the end of the day, because that's when I feel like what am I trying to say? The more of myself in that situation when I'm able to just express myself that way. Like, that's cool. Then I start to trust people more, because it's like, oh man, like, you're willing to have that conversation with me, not just bail. Cool. All right, then, like, that's cool. That's real. So
yeah. Because after we hit our recording, after he hit the debate, we was like, you good? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, man. It was like nothing. It was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, at the end of it, and what we've learned here, and I've actually, because I know Devin likes to take my 2.0 content, throw it at you to try to get you to evolve on your mindset. So shouts to being the third member. But I listen to you evolve on your mindset of NXT 2.0, and what it turns out to is basically what you were saying. It's not the topic, it's not necessarily the stance that you're taking, but it's the perspective and how it comes to you. So we can talk Packers Bears all day, right? And you can hate me just because I wear the jersey, and same to you. Or we can throw perspective of football in general and just go, it's kind of ironic that the chips fell where they did. Like, football's a game of chance. All games are game of chance. Like I said, this is the one we can't control. We can cheer for our favorites on the football field, and it doesn't make them score a touchdown. You know, but when it comes to wrestling, like and honestly, again, everything in life, like if you're willing to disagree but understand somebody's perspective, then when you see something that you haven't seen before, you're going to look at it possibly with two different perspectives. The one that you usually look at things, and then one understanding that, hey, I talked to this one guy, he looks at things kind of like this. Could this be that situation I'm in right now? And the more you open your mind to just perspectives in general, like, you never know. I mean, you know, not to get too sappy, but you know, we lost a family member this week, and or we let go of one. We celebrated them today. But my son, he's 7, and he has to process his feelings. And we're talking about this, and then we're having this deep conversation. And as soon as I say something that clicked to him, he goes, "Dad, can I have a piece of gum?" I'm like, he just got done crying. Like, he now, like, why harp on everything when we cleared the conversation? Now it's time for gum. Let's go do something else. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it doesn't have to always be entrenched in belief and not understanding and all that shit. At the end of the conversation, let's go get some gum. Like, I'll get you a piece of gum. Yeah. Oh wait, are we done talking? Because I'm not done talking. But as adults, we try to carry on the conversation, and like, we got to get our points across. No, it's perspective. It's perspective. You know, it's just shit like that, man. If you can understand perspective, because I used to hate AEW, and then I'm like, all right, well, a lot of people like it because it's not WWE. Okay, a lot of people like it because they fly around like crazy. Now, when y'all talk about it in a way that it's not like long-term storytelling, it's like, well, let's have a conversation and see if we can get to a point.
Yeah.
Perspective.
Yeah. Like, even in the midst of that conversation, because, you know, I didn't even really spend time analyzing that. I just saw, you know, Devin sent me that text about, you know, like the topic. And I said, okay, that's interesting. All right. You know, like, and generally I thought, I've seen long-term storytelling in AEW, but then we get to talking about it, and on the fly, I'm analyzing it and I'm going through it myself, and I'm open-minded too. Like, I'm actually like really looking at it. Like, what are they doing? You know? And I'm like, yeah, I think there's a lot of like moments. You know, there's a lot of like there's attempts. You know, like they may have gone into it wanting to do that, but then yeah, as far as long-term storytelling overall, I do feel like, you know, they're not, we haven't really seen a lot of great examples of that from them, and just being open to seeing that perspective, you know, and not just being closed off and being like, no, you know, they're AEW's great, and, you know, they tell great stories and this and that, and I'm not even gonna give you a chance, you know, to explain yourself, you know, because I'm true AEW. Like, just being open to that, I feel like, you know, that conversation again, and being willing to hear that other side and really give it a chance, you know, is important. So
just come in with a level head. I think you'll be fine. I think that's why this is one of the things I enjoy about our podcast, man. We like, it's some days if you listen, you think we're WWE marks. Other days you prefer AEW.
So
we just have fun with the product,
so
with wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, you know, that's how we look at it. Yeah, we're gonna be critical on both sides, and people will take, you know, especially on AEW. I don't think we got any like disagreement from WWE, because they'll accept us being critiqued,
Right?
Because it comes with, I guess it comes with the territory.
Right.
But with AEW, they got it. They're just perfect. You know.
You say anything negative about AEW, man, sometimes, oh my God, it's just like,
be patient.
Feel it. Yeah, I'm like, no, man, like,
it's wrestling, bro. People, just they control it.
Yeah.
Every single one, like, yeah, we have no choice. We have no choice, you know?
Right. Actually, one thing I was gonna bring up, because you did send me something else, Devin, that we didn't talk about. They're doing a rap album now in AEW for Black History Month.
Yep.
When you sent me that, I said, nah, they're not doing this, because it comes off of the tail end of this whole Big Swole thing, you know, and her talking about not enough diversity. And I'm like, there's no way that they're actually thinking about doing this, because just the timing of that and the poor taste of it to me, you know, I was like, nah. And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh shit, they're actually gonna do this shit. They're actually gonna try to cut a rap album to see, hey, see, look, We love black people. Look at this rap. It's just like, what the fuck? Like, really? What do we do?
Like
Man, it's just as bad as him saying, hey, man, we had 5 black people win last month. See, dude, no one's coming out here saying Tony Khan is racist, but the more he goes and throws like, oh, I got like my 5 friends here. See, look, and now we're gonna do rap music.
They all
now.
won too. Month of December, all won. What now?
just shut up about it. Leave me alone. Like, come on, man. Like, just calm down, Tony. Calm down. So I saw that, man. I said, he's tone deaf to this. He doesn't get it. I don't think he gets it. He doesn't get what the actual issue is.
Because he feels entitled. Like, right. I got wind of it when was that all women's pay-per-view, and there was like a conference call. And
NWA,
NWA,
yep.
And it was a female reporter asking him a question about about some of the talent, and he cut her off. He's like, hey, just want to let you know, like, I provided, I pay for everything. I provided the talent. I paid everybody for the pay-per-view. I was like, the fuck?
Well, and then he said, and part of me paying was getting credit for it, and they never gave me the credit.
Yep. He pointed that out because I didn't get credit for it either. So what?
Right. So that's why you're doing this. It's because you want, not because you care or whatever, but because you want to be seen as that person that provides and does all this. Like, come on, man. He's just, I think he just lacks that awareness around how bad that shit makes him look.
He's Vince McMahon, man.
Right.
He's do-rag Vince McMahon. Remember, this man came out with the do-rag, bro. Coming out like he a G or something. This what it is. That's Tony Khan right now, bro.
I just have that image in my head right now, man, of Vince with that do-rag. Because I remember that real well. And he made some poor choices, man, around this shit. Oh, my God. So, yeah, you do-rag Vince McMahon.
It's tone deaf.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. He needs to just slow down, just pause on all this shit, and just like act. I don't know. I keep saying, just have that conversation with Big Swole. Like, sit down and have a real conversation with her around what she was saying, and then go from there. Don't eat all this public shit you're trying to do to say, hey, look what I'm doing. See, I care about, diversity. I care about, the women. Like, calm down.
Where the 2 matches at? I'm still waiting. You had hopes. Bro. I was like, we'll see.
Yeah.
Like, look at that. We had full gear. They gave us a second. They gave us a match in the.
They did.
It was kickoff though. They did that last year though.
Start somewhere. So I'm thinking, okay, kickoff, whatever. They. It's not like with WWE where you look at pre-show and it's like they really don't give a fuck about pre-show, but they haven't changed. With that, they haven't changed. They added another championship. I don't think that's going to change anything. And obviously Jade Cargill won, so that's going to be another one where he's going to point to her and say, like, see, she's a black woman, she's a champion. Like, see, I gave you another one. Come on, dude.
It's tough, man. And Devin, thank you for the love you gave me on the AEW accountability episode.
I enjoyed that episode, man.
I appreciate that, because it's a tough subject for someone like me to talk about, because again, it's perspective, right? What shoes do I walk in? But what I knew Tony didn't walk in is plight and struggle of Black and brown America. That's not his thing. He's a rich kid from wherever his father's from. He's had the money since he was a kid. He doesn't understand that particular and how important that representation is, because I don't. Socioeconomically, growing up, like as a kid, I didn't have much money. So I grew up in areas of not much money. So I also didn't need to look to somebody as an idol because there was enough of them around, because I'm a white guy. So there's white guys who succeed all over the place. But where is the maintained success in representation? That's what I got from what Swole was saying. Where's the sustained success in the representation? It's not who won at what time. Right. No, that happened. They used to happen all the time. like black quarterbacks in the NFL, right? It was a huge thing for they'll never win a Super Bowl, can't do anything with them. All the conversation that used to happen back then, black coaches can't win Super Bowls because they're not as intelligent as white coaches. I heard all that shit, and the fact that it takes representation to make sure it can happen. You can see the growth of everyone underneath that. Now all the talent at quarterback, but specifically the black talent at quarterback, has been amazing over the last 10 years. But it took a Michael Vick, given not just one opportunity, but a second opportunity to show that there's value for someone else to even struggle and come back, who can represent a different culture so they can grow up and have that aspiration. That representation means something. Tony Khan doesn't understand that he's in a position where he can allow for that representation to happen, not just give the award.
Right.
Oh, you won. Yeah, you won. Okay. But as the representation means something, you have someone to look forward to. And I know I can only speak so much on that, but at least perspective. I've seen people need to look towards that, and they didn't have that.
I comprehended. I comprehended what Swole was saying in her podcast, because even like tonight, I'm watching Dynamite, and then I see what was the first match? It was Wardlow and CM Punk. And CM Punk put Wardlow over. I'm like, how come you couldn't do that for Hobbs? Hobbs and Wardlow are basically the same size. They look identical, just a different color. That's all it is, man.
Yeah.
And and I remember Hobbs and CM Punk being in like somewhat of a competitive match, but I'm like, if this dude is the same size as Wardlow, how come Hobbs couldn't get that same rub? Because that rub honestly didn't do anything for Hobbs.
No, didn't. He's
right.
back
It was supposed to.
It did nothing for him.
What Wardlow got, even though Wardlow lost, he looked dominating in that match, man. He was doing this, the suplexes, the symphony.
The symphony of power bombs, whatever. Yeah. But that's the thing too, is like they've been building Wardlow now for a while. Like you could see it, like even with the MJF stuff. With Hobbs, he's just kind of there on Team Taz. He's the muscle.
But they can do it. Look at they doing for Hook.
They
man.
could. No, I'm saying they could. Exactly. The potential is there, but they're choosing to spend a whole lot of time building Wardlow, which I love. I think Wardlow, he has that potential. So no shade on him.
There's definitely a chance.
Right. Yeah. But they made that choice with him, but not with Hobbs. Why? Scorpio Sky is the one that I'll stand on forever. That one still doesn't make any sense to me. He won the face of the revolution,
the golden donut, right?
Like the golden donut,
Sonic ring, everybody called
Sonic ring, yeah.
And what happened with that? And they're getting ready to do another one. Like, what are we doing, man? Really? He just doesn't get it, and that's sustained. That's important. That's sustained success, because even he won that. He got the golden donut. He grabbed it, and then what? It was just gone. Hobbs had that one match against CM Punk, and what happened? Nothing. Like there's no prolonged. Like, okay, now this person is on top and they're going to stay on top. It's like, hey, you got to win. You got to win in December. 5 of them got to win in December. Like that stuff doesn't. We're talking about like something. Swole talked about her daughter not seeing anyone like her, and then tuning over to WWE and seeing all these faces, and it's like, well, I just connect more with this because I'm seeing myself here. Even without the championship, Bianca being pushed the way she is something. Like we're seeing that continued build. She's being built like a superstar, getting win after win after win, and being showcased on television. It's like you don't see that on AEW. You just don't. Like they're one and done, and that's it. And you forget about them, and maybe they're on Dark, and that's it. It's crazy.
It's Dark,
right?
It's on Dark. It's on YouTube. It's easy, accessible.
Dude, yeah. Like, come on, man.
It's not the main show, asshat.
Right.
Like, bro, come
on. That's the thing with Bianca too. That she took the loss. A lot of people started to care more for her, right? Like my favorite just lost, and the gravitation. But WWE was also not dumb enough to make her lose a bunch to keep pouring in the support. A lot of times she wasn't wrestling anymore, and she was getting her character work in. But again, it could be sustained success, but it's also sustained representation. consistently on TV.
Yep.
And no offense to any of the talent, but would you rather have 6 people win one time or one person win 6 times so you have someone to care about?
Right.
That would be great. That would be great. And they have an incredible ability, and specifically Tony Khan, because he says that he writes everything and he runs the show, to make whatever star he wants to by giving them the opportunity.
Right.
And I look at a team like the New Day, where not until Kofi Mania did we think any of them were going to be champion, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And before that, though, the New Day, again, hosted WrestleMania, multiple tag team, some of the best matches, some of the best promos. They were consistently on TV. And kids can go, I want to do that with my buddies. I want to grow up and I want to be like those guys. Then Kofi wins the championship. And even from me and again, here's another thing about perspective. When I see Xavier Woods crying for Kofi, I started crying. Because in perspective, you know what that moment means to a person like that. And I can relate that to somebody in my life. Go, he now has that.
Yeah.
That's special, you know? And when you get those moments and you can understand perspective, you see the importance of things like that. You don't have to do it gratuitous. You don't have to do it for the sake of, because Swole does a podcast, so give somebody a title. And Swole even said it. Jade Cargill put in the work. She was destined for that title. They didn't do this because of me. So she even gave AEW props afterwards. You know, perspective. It's not about being gratuitous. It's about handling business with perspective. And I wish WWE got a little bit more credit for things like that. But I think we do take WWE for granted because they were the only ones in town for a while. So while AEW gets all the love, again, perspective. They do some good things, but if we hold them accountable as a company, not to do whatever we want them to do, but, you know, make the right choice.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks, man.
Accountability and AEW, they just do not mix. Oil and water, I tell you. Oil and water, bro.
Yeah, man. Cool, man. All right, man. This is a good discussion, man. I appreciate the time again, man. This is awesome. Devin, we'll work out scheduling for the next time we get together for this one. I think next Wednesday it'll probably work again, but I'll reach out to let you know for sure. But yeah, man. Overall, this was awesome. This was awesome. This was a lot of fun.
Again, Bishop for coming through, man.
Yeah,
we definitely appreciate it, bro.
It's awesome. It took me a while to be comfortable being Mike 1 on my own show, and I found comfortability in being Mike 2 on a couple other people's shows that I've done guest appearances. And then I learned through talking my own shit out that I wasn't listening enough. So I love doing stuff like this, man. I'm just glad we were able to make it work. So again, thank y'all so much for the support. It's awesome. And keep shouting me out, man.
Oh yeah, all the time, bro. Hey, you got a good show. You got a good show, bro.
I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? You got a good voice to go with it, and you have the content to provide as well. And like I said, man, you look at it with a strong analytical eye, and I appreciate that perspective too.
The breakdowns and the way that you think about it, and the way that you take your time to explain exactly what your perspective and point of view is. Yeah. You know, I definitely appreciate. You know, whether I would agree or not when it came to like, you know, the Becky and and stuff. But I really did appreciate, like, you really took time to explain, like, this is where I'm coming from, and like going through history and facts, and like, you know, it's just being real with it. And I'm like, man, listening to you, like, even though, like, I'm like, man, I want to get mad and I want to disagree. He is making some good points. Damn, now I got to be on point. Like, let me think about mine.
He's out of line, but he's right.
There's some facts in there, you know. So I gotta respect it. You know, I want to say no, but I gotta respect it. So, and I truly do appreciate how you take that time and do that. So yeah,
all love. Thank y'all so much. It's been awesome. But yeah, it's definitely past 1 over here for me. So
I was gonna say it's getting for you on the East Coast. So he said Delaware, right?
Yeah.
Man, yeah. All right. Well, thanks again for the time, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
man.
absolutely. Absolutely. Anytime the schedules work, I'm down.
Awesome.
I'm down.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, you got an open invitation to the show, bro. So
I appreciate that,
man. So
appreciate that.
Let me
Absolutely.
know. Hell yeah, man. We'll work it out, bro.
Yeah, let me know the feedback you guys get, you know.
Oh hell yeah, man!
If I was a terrible wrestling guest.
Never bring that guy over again. What are we even talking about? Too much sense. He was making too much sense.
Makes so much logic.
Nah, I appreciate it.
All
All right, fellas. Take it
All
easy.
right, fellas.
Have a good one.
Go back, go.
Bear down.